Hello everybody, welcome back to Buzzard-Roost. I am Buzzard, sorry about that. Some of you may have noticed the name change. I went from a private account to a branded account. It is now Buzzard-Roost Homestead and Prepping. Hopefully the wind ain't giving too much fits here. I know it's been almost 2 months since I made a video. In that time, set it back down here while I talk. Since Thanksgiving, I've been building some countertops, some marble game boards. Currently working on a dining room table. As some of you may know, we have family Sunday dinner. All my family's within 2 hours, and it's not required, but it's more than welcome. They're more than welcome to come on Sunday to have dinner. So our current table is, with the leaf in it, is about 5 feet, and I'm going to attempt to make a table that goes from 5 feet to 13 feet. That's so we don't have to drag in the fold-up table from out in the garage. It's getting pretty rough because I use it to work on and stuff. So hopefully the thoughts and ideals and what I've drawn out work. The leaves that go in it, it has 6 leaves that go into it, and the leaves will be designed to, you can flip them over and it'll be game boards on the bottom side. So it'll have like Chinese checkers, aggravation, chess, checkers, backgammon, Connect 4, games like that. I've got to come up with 6 of them. I don't have to come up with 6. I'm going to try to come up with 6. But anyway, like I said, hopefully this wind ain't messing with the sound too much. But let's just do a little short update. As you know, my pigs, it's 2 cattle panels wide. These cattle panels are 16 feet in length. It's 2 wide, 3 long. I put them on a section, let them moonscape it, as you can see here. And then after they get done with the length of this, when I move them over to another one, I will drag it out, which looks like this. I know Mother Nature hates bare ground, so I'm in the process of trying to find some 2+ old year round bales that is not good, that you can't use for feed because they're starting to rot. And I'm gonna hopefully lay down some slip sheets or cardboard, and then if all goes well, I'll unroll those bales, round bales, and cover it. Now I've got, on my pastures, I've got a pretty good mix. I've got red clover, arrowleaf, I think is one of them, a lot of Bermuda, and there's several varieties out there. It's a good blend for the cows. But as most of you know, Bermuda is one of the hardest things to kill out. So I'm hoping with the hay and the cardboard that I'll be able to kill it out. And I don't know if I'll be able to plant it this spring because it's so late in the winter. I don't know if I'll have time, or the ground will have time to start decomposing it and killing out the Bermuda and the other grasses. But if I don't get to this spring, maybe I can late summer. And in my garden, as I've done one update, I've got wood chips in the raised bed. I'm trying to build them up about 1 foot thick. And in the interior part of that garden, it's about 6 inches. I laid down cardboard and then put about 6 inches of wood chips on top of it. And it should be ready to plant by spring. Now, if you don't have your seeds, or you're having a hard time finding seeds, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, plant your pantry. As most of you know, potatoes start sprouting after a while. Those are good. You can plant them. I've actually had pretty good success with them. Last year, my success was not very good. I lost most of it. And the mistake I made is I planted beyond what I could water. And we had a month and a half dry spell and lost most of it during that time. So that's the whole purpose of the Back to Eden or the Roost Stout gardening styles. And I'm going to be doing both of them to help retain the water or the moisture in the ground. Wood chips have been hit and miss. I just got a load this morning. Hopefully I'll be getting a couple more loads. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's get over here. I'm getting a lot of reflection, so I can't tell exactly where I'm at. Where'd my finger go? There it is. I don't know if you can see the heat coming off of that. These wood chips were sitting in the truck all weekend, and they already started heating up and started decomposing. So hopefully I'll have plenty of wood chips here to start doing more Back to Eden. This here is one of my oldest piles I got. We've had a lot of rain, so the roads have been soupy. Try to keep you out of the sunlight there. And our driveway. So what I've been doing with some of the wood chips is laying them in the soupy areas, the potholes and stuff, and letting them and piling them up and letting them get compressed down. They seem to be working real well. The here where they drive, all in here, I've got about anywhere from 6 inches to a foot thick, and where they was sinking before, they're not sinking now. So I decided to put some on my driveway. And I know you can't see it, but there at the end of the driveway, it was becoming a pretty good sized hole, so I've been filling them in there. Just been kind of busy. Hope everyone else is doing good. I hope everyone had fairly good to a great holiday. There's my wheelbarrows. Let's see if I can find them. Well, man, like I said, there they are. Those both were single wheelbarrows. And I made them double. Made a world of difference on walking with them. They don't have a tendency to tip over like they used to. And as rough as the ground is, it made a big difference. Anyway, that's off of that subject. Let's see here. Man, I can't get my finger to work right here. I don't know if you can see that IBC tote right there. Now, a couple of years ago, between 2 and 3 years ago, you could pick those IBC totes up all day long, as many as you wanted, for about 40 bucks. Since this sickness, I guess you want to call it, pandemic, there's been a lot of manufacturers that haven't been producing like they used to. And now, if you can find them, they are running about $100 a piece. So that's a good example that 2 or 3 years ago, I could have bought several of them and just stockpiled them back, and wouldn't be looking at paying $100 for them now. Anyway, had some coyote problems. I that was something I've been doing over the last couple of months, is putting up new fence, patching fence, stuff like that. I still got about a 100-foot section on the front yard to do. I'm going to do them in cattle panels. Hopefully get that done here in a week or so. But I've got most of my perimeter fence either replaced or patched. So once I get the front done, I shouldn't have any more problems with critters killing my chickens. I've ended up losing, I started out with 25. Of course, I lost one a few days after I got them. Within 3 days, I lost one, which ended up being a rooster. And since then, I'm down to 19. Lost the other rooster and some hens, of course. They're just starting to lay pretty good. With it being cold, they're not in full production right now. I do not give them artificial lights. I do have the little dollar solar lights that I put in the top of the rickshaw. So when it does start getting time for them to roost, it gives them a little bit of light, probably for about 30 minutes after dark. But it's not enough to, I don't think, to change their laying. I know people have put in lights in their coops so they'll keep laying during the wintertime at a decent rate. I'm not really concerned about that. The eggs that I water glassed, when they get to the eighth month of being water glassed, I've been boiling them, and I'll go ahead and feed them to the pigs. Before that time, there ain't nothing wrong with them. Well, there may not be nothing wrong with them when I do that, but I just, it's something I don't want to take a chance with. So anyway, with that said, hopefully this spring I'll be getting about at least 20 eggs a day. Now, as you can see, here's my rickshaw. That's the mega one that I built. And underneath it is was my strawberry patch. And last summer I lost all my strawberries. So this year I put about 6 to 8 inches of wood chips on top, or I laid down a little bit of cardboard, put 6 to 8 inches of wood chips on it, and I put my rickshaw over it to let the chickens fertilize it. They'll be moved here in a couple of days, and by the time spring gets here, it should be ready to plant, and I'm going to order me a bunch more strawberries to plant in there, and to plant it for my guerrilla gardening I'm doing. I've got some properties that no one has been on in over 30 years. So I've been planting a little bit here and there, kind of just let it go wild. What grows, that's great. What don't, okay, that's the way life goes. Anyway, like I say, it's been a couple of months. I wanted to do a name change on the channel, because just regular Buzzard-Roost, when people are looking for homestead or prepping, unless it pops up in one of my descriptions on my videos, I don't get a lot of traffic. So hopefully this will increase my traffic. When I get enough subscribers, I don't know if I want to do 1,500 or 2,000, I will do a seed giveaway. And the seeds I'll be giving away will be packaged in 2020 or 2021. The older ones I'm going to be planting this spring. Some of it will be for guerrilla gardening, and the others I'm going to just give them a hand at it. I do need to get at least my frame up. I'm going to put the hoop house right there on the south side of the garden, and The ground slopes quite a bit, so I've got some telephone poles. I'm going to try to get it fairly leveled out, and I'm going to use wood chips to level it out. I don't plan on planting in them, say within a year or by next fall. I probably won't be planting in them. I'm hoping to get some of those mineral tub containers that farmers use for their cattle, 5-gallon buckets, and I'll do some growing in that hopefully this spring. I'm debating on whether or not to put a shelf in there. It'd be nice to have one, but no bigger than what this hoop house is going to be. It's going to be kind of tight on space, but we'll see whenever we get there. But that'll about do it for this video. Remember, only dead fish follow the flow of the stream. Don't be a dead fish. This is Buzzard. See ya.